Good afternoon, good morning. I have no idea what time it will be in New York City because I'm not there. But I'm sure my colleague Alan Heisterkamp will be filling you in with some more information around the Mentors and Violence Prevention Programme. But all I can do today is wave my American flag. Sorry, it's not a half mast, it's a full mast now. And drink coffee from my NYPD mug. I've been to New York before. I bought my mug. I want to give you some context around MVP. But first of all, my name is Graham Goulden. I'm a Chief Inspector with the Scottish Violence Reduction Unit, and I've been a police officer now for the best part of 28 years, the last 6 working in violence prevention. I want to give you some context around MVP Scotland and how we've taken some of the learning, most of the learning from the United States, and replicated it here in Scotland, because all we've really done is put a kilt on the MVP programme taken from the United States. Been working on MVP since 2011, and I suppose some of the issues that we wanted to really discuss within MVP is what do we actually mean by violence? Because the MVP programme allows us to start to tackle this definition, this word, and start to look at violence as something that operates in a continuum, looking at verbal, looking at emotional, physical and sexual, and start to really identify these behaviours, not always illegal, but often very harmful and dangerous for not only young people but for adults as well. So we really liked the MVP approach and how we could really bring into the classroom some safe discussions around violence, because let's face it, we want to reduce levels of violence. But one thing we really wanted to do with MVP was just to look at schools and think, right, what are schools aiming to achieve? A young person goes to school, they're going to school to learn, teachers go to school to teach, and today society is a very dangerous society for young people. It's often a very conflicting society around messages around masculinity, around femininity, and we need to find ways of supporting young people in dealing with all these issues. Young people today are faced with a range of issues. We're looking at violence in relationships getting younger. We're looking at highly sexualised imagery being available through a number of different platforms. Young people, age of 10, pornography is a currency in playgrounds in the United Kingdom. And young people are being forced to do things they don't really want to do, and we need to find ways of dealing with that. And I think a key way to deal with that is through friendships, the power of friendships. If we can create a climate in a school where I know as a young person that my friend has got my back and my friend knows that I've got their back, then we can start to push a lot of these negative behaviours and attitudes out of the way, allowing the young person to focus on the reason why they go to school, to learn, to attain. Let's face it, if you look at violence and strip it right back, violence is a breakdown in a relationship. So let's use relationships, let's use the power of relationships to fight back. And I think MVP allows us to have that conversation around friendships to really make that difference and support us as professionals, as whatever we are, in going into these environments to try and reduce violence. So that circle of trust, how do we build trust in a school? Young people are at the heart of our approach, like they are in the United States of America. And Alan, I'm sure, will start to show you some images of our young mentors, our young leaders as I call them, inspirational young people who are working hard alongside colleagues, not tackling school violence but tackling community violence, tackling societal violence. We don't work with schools because schools have a problem with violence. We work with schools because community has a problem with violence, and we need to use the assets in the different communities across Scotland and across the world to really allow us to fight back at different forms of violence that's taking place in society. So I suppose really just to finish with, friendships are key, defining violence is key, working with young people, identifying them as bystanders, not identifying them as perpetrators or victims all the time, but engaging them as bystanders. Young people, vast majority of boys and girls and men and women don't need educated, they need engaged into this work. I firmly believe that. If we were to suggest that the vast majority of people need educated, then we've got a lot of work to do. But I think young people just need engaged, need to be shown reasons why they need to get involved in that. And I think, again, friendships is the key. You know, what do friends do for each other? A good friend should support another friend. A good friend should even challenge another friend to stop that friend getting into trouble. So I'm sorry that I'm not with you today. Again, I'm going back to waving my flag and drinking my coffee. But I'm sure my colleague Alan will provide you with my details, my Twitter address, my email address, and please get in touch if you want some more information. Very happy to share what I know, and I'm keen to learn from other people, other parts of the world as well. So enjoy yourself, enjoy the input, enjoy New York City. I'm not there. I'm sure if I was there, it would be good as well. But I look forward to hopefully meeting some of you in the future. But for the now, goodbye from Scotland.